Hello, it is your boy Raincord Malone. We are here for day 2 of Deep Pulls. This is the Magic set opening video series where we open a pack of Magic cards and we tell you all the most fun and informative things we can. We are here to celebrate spring having sprung by opening a cold set of cards from Kaldheim. This is a set booster. It is a blend of both pack and story, because these things tell you more about the things you care about, I guess, than just regular boosters, which are just like a mismatch pack. I don't get it. But this is the second set with set boosters, Zendikar Rising being the first. But we are going to open this up and see some interesting cards, hopefully, and talk about them. First things first, we've got this art series card. This is one of the cool things that got put into the set boosters. This is a Mistwalker, the 1/4 flying bird that maybe we'll see. Then we've got a Ice Tunnel. These are common dual lands, snow dual lands, enter the battlefield tapped, and have snow types. The plan, and what I expected when this snowy set was first spoiled, was that they would complete the cycle from Cold Snap. Cold Snap had an uncommon enemy enter the battlefield tapped lands that tap for, were snow lands that tap for each of those colors. They didn't want to do that because some of those lands reference Dominarian locations, so they just said, let's make it more generic and then add the basic land types because people want to do that. So they put a whole lot of stuff in these, and we got Ice Tunnel as a result. We have also gotten Shackles of Treachery. This is a active treachery / threaten upgrade. Threaten was the original version of this, and Onslaught was 2 and a red sorcery, stole a creature for a turn, it got haste, and then you gave it back. Active treachery, they wanted, apparently threaten didn't sound red enough, so they made it active treason. It's more of a passionate, like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, I'll attack my friends. And this is a version of that. It's an upside over active treason, but costs 2 and a red. You get to steal equipment, or you get to break the equipment on the creature you take, because if you take equipment, or if you take a creature with equipment, the equipment stays on, even though the equipment is still owned by the player who owns it. So they can unequip it, but not at sorcery speed, because it's not their turn. Look at that. We've got here Bound in Gold. We've talked about arrest variants before. This is like a supercharged arrest variant, because same cost as arrest, 2 and a white, but it kind of does everything. Enchant permanent, shuts off basically everything that's not a mana ability. And it can hit lands, so I guess if you wanted to stop an ability like on Molten Slackheap, I learned, by the way, that Molten Slackheap, you can't stop the removing counters for mana, but you can stop the storage land that adds counters. So anyway, that was a small correction from last video. By the way, I'm learning I am not always correct as much as I want to be, so if you find errors, post them in the comments, but be nice about it. I'm fragile. We've got here Axgard Braggart, the first creature with Boast on it. Boast is a attacking aggressive ability that they put primarily, I think, on Mardu colors, so that is white, black, and red. It's kind of fun. It's kind of interesting that it's Mardu colors, because Mardu is the color of the raid ability that was originally in Khans of Tarkir. But it's a fun ability because it kind of makes the set play more aggressive, even though there's a lot of other mechanics that kind of make it slow down. I like the fact that this also has pseudo-vigilance when it attacks and gets bigger. Cool. We've got here some Valor of the Worthy. Man, auras have just gotten good. There's no particular kind of theme around this one or callback or anything, but it gets +1/+1 when it's on the creature, and then when it goes away, it still gets +1/+1. Pretty cool. Now we've got Master Skald. In this set, Skalds are basically dwarf storytellers, and this one is telling the story of how you got an artifact or enchantment back from the graveyard. Getting artifacts and enchantments back is kind of a white thing, and this card has that, but it also has this weird Pyre ability, which was put in a lot of colors, where you wanted to exile a creature card from your graveyard in order to do things. It's kind of weird that it's not named, and it's also kind of weird that there's not a ton of support for it. There's not a lot of self-mill to benefit that. But in a long game, you'll find it works anyway. The 3 Seasons. This is not a joke about a landscaping company. You know, that was how the 2020 presidential campaign went, by the way. Apparently, there are only 3 seasons on Kaldheim. Winter, winter, and not winter, I think. This one mainly focuses on the winter, so snow. Blue-green has kind of been the snow thing, but it's also the changeling thing in this set, so there you go. Path of the World Tree. So Path of the World Tree is meant to be basically a way that the people can transport between realms in Kaldheim. Effectively, this is a multicolor support card because it lets you get lands of any basic land type. Has to be a basic land, excuse me. Put it onto the battlefield. No, put it into your hand. But then it's got this cool 5-color ability. It's really fun if you get it to go off, especially in Limited. Now we've got Battle of Frost and Fire. This is the giant rare saga. Sagas are in 2 colors for the first time ever in this set. And this blue-red saga basically, I don't know, tells the story of a big battle and then giants come. But yeah, it's kind of an interesting wrath. Surprised it hasn't really gained any traction in Standard, because you would think it would deal with a lot of stuff. But I don't know, maybe these colors aren't popular, and I don't know Standard very well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I know what's in Standard, but I don't know everything. Speaking of, ooh, we've got a cool double phase card. Is this the front or is this the front? This is the front because it only has one thing up here. They completed the 10-card series of dual lands in this set. They only did 6 in the first one. They were supposed to focus on the color pairs that had the 4 party tribes in it. But then they were missing like a green one, so they put one in and they made it off balance. So there's 4. This is one of them. This is the Azorius one. We've got Mistgate Pathway on the back and Hengegate Pathway on the front. Really cool double face cards. I mean, you know, really cool dual cycle, I think. We have got Agar, the Freezing Flame. Freezing Flame, not the Fleezing Frame, the Freezing Flame. This is apparently a combination of the Ice Giants, the Frost Giants, and the Fire Giants, and they made this card, which is actually really cool. It's got a really unique ability that rewards overkill on your giant creatures, your wizards, your sorcerer, any spell. Okay. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a fun Brawl commander if you play Brawl online, which I do a lot in Arena. We've also got here a rare mythic. This is a head turner. Reflections of Ninjara. Because Changeling was the blue-green supported thing, you got a lot of these, hey, whenever you play a tribe, you know, you get all the benefits because all your Changelings trigger this no matter which tribe you choose. Very popular card, very good in Limited as well. It's a fun build around. And finally, and kind of the main reason I wanted to open these set boosters, we got a card from the list. The list is just a bunch of random cards. I have no idea how it's curated, but 1 in 4 set boosters gets one of these. This is Imperious Perfect. It's interesting that this is in this one because this was originally from Lorwyn, the set that introduced the Changeling mechanic. In Lorwyn, the Changeling mechanic was a real, kind of really held everything together. It was basically like the paste of that set because you had so many cards like this that benefited one tribe, and it was really nice to get that benefit on all of your stuff. You know, whether or not you cared about fairies or tree folk or giants or Kifkin or elves or some of the other 3 tribes I'm forgetting. There are 8 tribes in that set, which is a weird thing, 8 in a Magic set. But yeah, that was, Changelings were kind of holding everything together, and it's cool that this card associated with Changelings made its way into a Kaldheim Set Booster, which also has Changelings. By the way, this is also just a really good card. Even if you don't have the support, it just pumps out 2/2s indefinitely and pumps all the other elves you have. So, Imperious Perfect, really cool card. Full art on this, I love it. Really good pull, cool foil rare, cool rare, cool list card, a really, really good pack. So, thank you for your time and appreciate this energy you put into watching deep pulls. We'll be back tomorrow to do another one. Thanks so much.